What's going on, guys? Coach Sharif here. Welcome to this new series of the best and the worst, where I'll share with you guys the top 3 best exercise and top 3 worst for each muscle group. Alright, if you're new to this channel, I'm Sharif, been training for over 13 years natural, alright, 13 years natural bodybuilder, and I made this YouTube video just to share with you guys some of the things that I think work, alright, because we keep learning, alright. I don't say I know it all, we keep learning, and the biggest mistake is when someone thinks they know it all, right? We keep learning, we keep growing, and I'm just sharing with you guys what I think works for me, and you can try and implement it and see if it works for you. All right, let's jump straight into it. Let's start with the best, all right? At number 3 for shoulders, it would be the lateral raises with dumbbells. And why with dumbbells? I would much rather doing it with dumbbells over cables or a machine. First of all, with a dumbbell, all right, you're controlling the angle you're going at, because with a machine it's a lot harder. With a cable as well, it's a lot harder to control the angle, and sometimes you want to play with the angle, starts feeling a little bit weird, and you're engaging a bit more your traps, less your delts, more of the momentum. But when you're with the free weight, you're able to find the right angle for you, and that's something that is very tricky with the lateral raises. All right, we always want to have that kind of textbook form, but it's not the case. I've been training clients forever, and sometimes I'll take someone, I'll show him a way of doing it. He'll be engaging a bit more his traps. He won't feel it as well. He won't be as comfortable on his side delts, but someone else would feel it good. And with that person that didn't feel comfortable, a little tweak to the front, he would feel it a lot better. For example, going a little bit in the mid of a side and a front raise. Just to tell you, I love doing it with dumbbells because you're more free and you're really able to get in that muscle and isolate it as much as possible. So that would be my top 3, all right? Great to build the sides and give you that width. Number 2, the reverse flies, all right? I was arguing with in my head if it would be number 1 or number 2, but I think it's number 2. Reverse dumbbell flies. I love this exercise to work this the rear delt. And guys, the rear delt is so important. You want to have that kind of 3D look. You want to have that muscle in the back. A lot of people don't have it, and their shoulder just falls down and it cuts. And that's not a good look, all right? You might look good from the front, but as soon as you turn, there is nothing. And you want to have that kind of 3D look. I mean, as much as possible. Yes, we're naturals, it's hard for us to develop it, but for me, people compliment me for it. I mean, I don't know what you guys can see from there, but I believe my rear delts are pretty good, and I would give credit for the reverse flies, all right, dumbbells. And I do it first thing in my workouts. I always go for high reps, getting that mind muscle connection. Don't try to ego lift on those exercises, because it's very easy for you to lose that connection with the rear delt when you go heavy and start compensating with traps. Number 1, my top shoulder exercise, I have to give it to the overhead press standing with dumbbells. All right, so I would do shoulder press standing with dumbbells. Yes, I love doing my shoulder press standing because it doesn't only engage my shoulder, but also my core, my posterior chain, and my stabilizers, and pretty much my whole nervous system, my whole body, because you're doing a workout standing, an exercise standing, your whole body is engaged. You know, back in the days, they used to test someone's strength by his ability to perform an overhead press. All right, that's pretty insane, right? An overhead press. I believe they did it with a bar back then, but why I like doing it with the dumbbells, just because you're moving each arm on its own and you're able to kind of work them separately. And guys, standing, you will not use the same weight as doing your shoulders seated. There's no way, all right? It's so much harder. You don't have that support from your back. All the weight is kind of coming on your shoulders, even though you're losing a lot less weight. But the tension I get on my shoulders when I do my shoulder press standing is just amazing, all right? I haven't done any seated shoulder press for the past at least 3 years, trust me. And I don't regret it, and I'm happy that I do them standing, and the results are just incredible. If you're someone that does shoulder press sitting, try it standing on next workout and thank me later. All right? Sorry. So, moving on. So those were my top 3. Let's talk about my 3 worst for my shoulders. All right? And number one will be a seated shoulder press on a machine. All right? For me, it goes against the whole purpose of a shoulder press, which is a compound movement. And when you're doing it, first of all, seated, I told you I'm not a big fan. You're being supported with your lower back. But not only that, now you're not even doing it with dumbbells. You're doing it with a machine. And a lot of people would prioritize that on their compound, on their shoulders day, and they will spend all their energy and their sets and their effort on a seated machine shoulder press and go heavy on it. Guys, that's not the purpose of that machine. All right, you will not get as much results going on a machine as opposed to a compound free weight exercise. It's not the same, especially if you're natural, because of the impact compounds have on your nervous system, the impact it has on your hormones. When you're doing a free weight, you're moving in a tree motion. All right, the weight can go front, back, sides, up and down, so it works a lot of stabilizers. Your scapula, rhomboids, your traps, your rear delt, everything is engaged. But when you're just on a machine pressing, yes, you can put a lot more weight, but it won't have the same effect. You're kind of isolating you're kind of taking a compound lift and transforming it into an isolation. So you're getting the worst out of both worlds. All right. So I'm not a big fan of it. The only time I'll use it is if you're injured or at the end of the exercises, just to pump blood in. But if you're someone that is using the machine press as your big lift on your shoulder press, big mistake. All right, trust me, switch that for a free weight and your body will thank you and you will see the results for yourself. Yes, it's harder, but do the harder work. All right, number two, my worst, it would be the machine side delts. All right, just because, like I said, I don't feel like it's very natural on a machine. You know, there's this machine or this one like this. There's this machine. I don't feel like it's very natural. I feel like I'm using my traps and I don't feel like I'm able to move my arms freely. So it just doesn't feel so good for me. Number three, it would be the upright row. All right, I'm pretty sure nobody do them anymore. I mean, some people might still do, but for me, the upright rows give me a lot of shoulder pain and I don't feel it's natural. And I feel like there's better ways to work your delts and your traps. By the way, for your traps, just a little bonus and exercise that I love doing would be on a Smith machine, holding at the top and then doing it from the back. With the Smith machine, holding at the top for the traps, it's just been a game changer. I saw Rich Piana doing it in a video, let's say 5 years ago, and doing them on a Smith machine. Holding, a lot of people put a lot of weight and start doing this, but no, you want to hold, stretch. Hold, stretch. Do that for 20 back and on the front, and trust me, you'll get a crazy pump on your traps. That's pretty much for this video, guys. Most shoulders exercises aside of the overhead press, you want to really go for the pump, go for that burn, go for that mind muscle connection, and go for the time under tension. You don't want to be, even the overhead press, you don't want to be ego lifting, you don't want to be putting a lot of weight, because that's where you'll start compensating with your traps. A lot of people are like this because their traps are so huge, but the side delts are small because every time they lateral raise, well, they compensate with the traps. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you like that series. If you did, watch others of my video. I'm pretty sure you will like them. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Ciao.